YMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Macy Marie. A tropical storm is getting stronger as it eyes Louisiana, and the effects from the storm are already being felt. Hillary Lane is in New Orleans where locals are prepping.
The city of New Orleans and the surrounding area are bracing for possible record rainfall when Tropical Storm Barry arrives in just a few hours from now. Residents have been told to shelter in place.
Man, woman, child, stay off of the street of the city of New Orleans, which we're asking from 8 p.m. onward.
The slow-moving storm is battering the Louisiana coast with strong waves and 50-mile-an-hour winds. Officials say the storm could strengthen into a hurricane and cause major flooding.
Prepare for heavy rain, slow moving. Still, this is what we're being told.
The storm forced thousands of attendees at the Delta Sigma Theta sorority convention to cut short their visit to the Big Easy. Members evacuated their hotels, but some, like Michelle Alexander, decided to ride out the storm.
We were hoping it wouldn't be so bad and we can just ride it out, so that's what we're doing.
Engineers have closed this gate to prevent surge waters from flooding the city. Hundreds of these gates have now been closed.
Time is short. If you have preparations that you need to complete, now is the time.
The Mississippi River is expected to crest at 19 feet, just a foot below the tops of the levees. Officials say some areas could see as much as 25 inches of rain. Hillary Lane, CBS News, New Orleans.
Officials in New Orleans postponed the Rolling Stones Superdome concert that was scheduled for tomorrow. They say it's just too dangerous right now.
Here is a look at the very latest on Tropical Storm Barry, still churning off the coast of Louisiana right now, about 75 miles south of Morgan City. Sustained winds at 65 miles per hour with gusts going upwards of 75. Remember, to become a hurricane has to hit 74 miles per hour sustained. Now notice the northern end of this storm not looking too organized. It's running into a little bit of drier air and a little bit of shear. That's what's preventing it from really ramping up, which is good news for folks in the south. However, that shear is also slowing it down, which could lead to heavier rain. Double-edged sword there. Pinpoint Doppler here on the home front. Nice and dry this evening. Temperatures into the mid-70s to low 70s right now, and we're going to see those thermometers drop down into the upper 60s. Remember, you can always get the latest forecast on the WYMT weather app on Google devices and Apple iOS devices. You can see we go from the 70s into the upper 60s. A little bit of dense fog to start off your Saturday, so if you're heading out to the lake, maybe a little bit on the early, doing a little morning fishing, just know that fog may slow you down just a little bit, and by lunchtime we're back to the 80s. The big story though for the weekend, a little bit on the drier side and warmer and more humid, so some pretty nice weather heading our way, Macy. We'll have more on that here in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Shane. A Pike County woman who pleaded guilty to filing false medical records with Aflac now has to pay back more than $19,000. Officials say Courtney Saunders from Pikeville pleaded guilty to insurance fraud. Aflac paid Saunders the money between July 2015 and December 2016. This weekend, ICE agents are expected to carry out raids targeting thousands of immigrants with deportation orders. And it comes as Governor Matt Bevin announces he's supporting a bill that would ban sanctuary cities in the state of Kentucky. If it passes, it would limit cooperation between local agencies and federal immigration agents. Politicians such as Senator Danny Carroll are weighing in.
I know how critical it is to have cooperation between all agencies.
The governor says currently there's not any cities that would be in violation of the proposal, but that it is a proactive measure. And two dramatically different images of life inside migrant detention centers along the border were presented today by Vice President Mike Pence and House Democrats. Pence and a group of lawmakers visited a facility in Texas, while administration officials testified on Capitol Hill about unsafe conditions at some of those facilities. Nicole Killian has more from the White House.
They're taking good care of you here.
Vice President Mike Pence toured a migrant detention facility in McAllen, Texas, and met with Border Patrol agents Friday.
Each and every one of the children, each and every one of the parents that I spoke to told me they were being treated well.
Those images stand in stark contrast to testimony from House Democrats on Capitol Hill, recalling their visit to a detention center.
Children being separated from their parents in front of an American flag. We cannot allow for this.
The dehumanization is not only with those families, but it's also with the agents that we've had told to do this to these families.
The House Oversight Committee released a zero-tolerance report on family separation, showing that separated children were held by Health and Human Services an average of 90 days, with more than 21 children held for more than a year.
My inspectors describe a situation like they had never seen before. That is the picture.
That's the picture?
Yep.
President Trump disputes Democrats and media accounts of detention center conditions and says he may even visit one himself. He also says his administration will move forward with raids Sunday to target immigrants with deportation orders.
We are really specifically looking for bad players, but we're also looking for people that came into our country not through a process.
Some state and local governments say their police departments will not assist in the ICE raids.
We will support and stand by our immigrant community.
The raids are expected to take place in at least 10 cities across the country. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Congress passed a $4.6 billion humanitarian aid package to address the border crisis, and the TDHS and HHS officials told the House panel they'll monitor how that money is used at border detention facilities. A team of nurses has been traveling around the Commonwealth to help battle against hepatitis A. Since April, the group has administered more than 21,000 vaccines to Kentucky's most vulnerable. The number of people with Hep A is down, but healthcare workers are still stressing the importance of getting vaccinated. To get the vaccine, officials say you can contact your healthcare provider or local public health department. It took more than 6 months to find where Savannah Spurlock was, and some families in Kentucky have waited years and are still waiting to find out what happened to their loved ones. A Lincoln County woman has started a Facebook page and holds annual vigils for missing loved ones because she can relate. Her son's been missing more than 4 years. Sandra Hasty knows all too well what that feeling is that the Spurlock family's been going through the last 6 months. It's her son who went missing. That's Michael Gorley. He disappeared in May of 2015.
You know, people that have lived through it, you know, then we have people waiting for years and years. Anna Manning missing 26 years from Boyle County.
She says she now has renewed hope for her case and the many others that will be solved. The suspect in Savannah Spurlock's disappearance, David Sparks, is in the Lincoln County Jail, and he will be back in court on Monday. Some say they want a damaged Perry County road fixed before more costly damage is done. One man showed us the damaged road crossing along Highway 15 near R.W. Combs Elementary. He said the pothole caused severe damage to his wife's tire.
Yeah, see, they go through there so fast they don't pay no attention. You hit that thing just right, it's going to bust your tire.
Now, we did reach out to CSX about that pothole. They say they are reviewing the problem and looking at scheduling repairs. You can read the full statement from them on our website, WIMT.com. Students presented revitalization ideas for downtown Harlan to tourism officials. Students from the University of Kentucky and Northern Kentucky University have been working for several months studying downtown Harlan and how they could revitalize it. The ideas are part of the project through the Community and Economic Development of Kentucky to provide ideas on how to enhance downtown areas.
So by staying in Harlan overnight and having extensive visits here in town, we've really tried to get a sense of local flavor and adapt those into what our findings have been.
Tourism staff say these are only ideas based on real-life examples. None of the projects are in progress just yet. Faculty and staff from Clay County Elementary School made a trip to see some of their students today. WIMT's Madison Pergram tagged along.
It was a special delivery. Faculty and staff from Paces Creek Elementary came up with an idea to reach out to their students during the summer.
Let's see what we can do to reach out to all of our Paces Creek students. So I sent a text out and an email out to our staff and to see if they would be willing to go out and visit our Paces Creek students and just provide them with a sack lunch.
Principal James Gray says making sack lunches is a way to stay in contact and show kids they are not forgotten.
It just gives us the chance to see our students at home during the summer, let them know that we are thinking of them, that we miss them, that we're looking forward to the 2019-2020 school year.
More than 20 volunteers showed up from the school helping grill, wrap, and bag the lunches.
Everybody just had kind of a job that they done, and everybody done real well.
Alfie Burns, a volunteer and member of the Paces Creek staff, says this is just one small way to make an impact.
I think a lot of the kids in the county, and I would do anything to help the children in this county.
Ending the day with more reassurance as to why they love what they do.
When they start smiling at you and coming up giving you a hug and saying they miss you, it lets you know that we're in the right profession.
In Manchester, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
The faculty and staff prepared 255 sack lunches, and those lunches included a hot dog, water, apple, a bag of chips, and a cookie. The David School in Floyd County is on a mission to serve the community, and the community is returning that favor. The students in the school work on different service projects throughout the year, like volunteering in the community and building a bonfire pit enclosed by swings for the campus. But mission groups and community partners help contribute to the overall success. Last month, Project Hope, a mission group from Pennsylvania, came to the school to build a bridge, paint some murals, and help update some classrooms. Dean of Students Jessica Thompson says this type of giving is the only way the school can succeed.
We receive $0 in federal or state funding, so we have to raise every dime that we get, and it's difficult. Sometimes it gets really tough. So their help is crucial.
Thompson says the giving from the community sets a great example for the students who attend the David School. And still to come on Mountain News at 11. One local woman releases an album inspired by living in southeastern Kentucky. We'll introduce you to her.
And we continue to watch Tropical Storm Barry down in the Gulf of Mexico. The storm could impact our weather next